Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Kind of sounds a little bit like the conversation you just had about wanting the spotlight. This is what I said about it, and I love it. I want to see them going at it. I want to see them playing physical. I want to keep this racist crap off the court where it belongs. I love this rivalry. I am here for every single second of it. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's not a rivalry. Not when you lose about 35 points.
That's true.
It's not rivalry. Indiana Fever's on a different level than the Chicago Sky. Let's get that out the way. Secondly, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player.
Stephen A. Smith didn't just join the Angel Reese conversation. He rewrote the whole script. Instead of the usual post-game breakdowns, he walked into the studio with fire in his voice and a mission to shake up the WNBA news cycle. While everyone else was busy dissecting plays, Stephen A. zeroed in on what nobody else wanted to say out loud: the expectations, the attitude, the gap between hype and results. It wasn't just a sports segment, it was a viral moment in the making, with every word setting the comment section ablaze. Suddenly, this wasn't about the final score or any single highlight. It was about whether Angel Reese's presence is helping the Sky rise or leaving them stuck in neutral while the rest of the league speeds by.
It's not about black and white. It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route to the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living you-know-what at that particular moment in time. And Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did. It would have never gotten to this point.
We have a lot of folks that have come to the defense of numerous WNBA players because they were pointing out, like, this has been going on before long and people are not hating on her. It's not about hating on her. It's that you feel she is getting a level of attention that you deserved and you warranted long before she ever came along.
When the big lights hit and the starting lineup flashed across the Jumbotron, everyone in the building expected Angel Reese to take command. Instead, what followed was a lesson in just how fast momentum can vanish. There was no Caitlin Clark on the court, no big-name rival to steal the headlines. This was Reese's moment to own, but play after play, shot after shot, the magic just wasn't there. She hustled for boards, she fought in the paint, but every scoring attempt seemed to bounce away, leaving a scoreboard that looked more like an afterthought than a legacy. The energy in the crowd shifted from excitement to confusion. Announcers tried to fill the silence with optimism, but fans weren't buying it. With every missed layup, the whispers got louder. Was this really the same player hyped as a game changer just months ago? The difference between confidence and production was starting to feel like a canyon. For every expectation set before the season, there was a cold stat line to erase it.
When they're halfway good, they stink now. Yeah, it's about me too. No, it's not. And this is proof.
There's a strange weight that settles over a game when the star attraction fades into the background. You could feel it building from tip-off as Angel Reese was handed the keys but never hit the gas. Her teammates kept feeding her the ball, looking for that spark, but every possession ended with a shot that missed the mark or a pass that landed nowhere special. The entire arena was caught in this weird holding pattern, waiting, hoping, then quietly realizing the show everyone paid to see wasn't coming. On social media, fans and analysts traded jokes and side eyes, trying to make sense of what felt like a vanished promise. Even the home bench seemed tense, watching as another opportunity slipped away. The game's momentum drifted, the crowd's cheers turned half-hearted, and the post-game buzz was less about what went wrong for Chicago and more about what never happened for Reese. The gap between hype and impact has never been clearer, and every missed shot, every moment passed over, turned that gap into a story of its own.
Season tipped off this weekend with several marquee matchups on the slate. Most fans were excited to see Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever take on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. The game was a blowout as the Fever beat down Chicago 93-58, with Clark's triple-double leading the way. But the biggest headline coming out of the game on Saturday is the investigation the WNBA is conducting into allegations of hateful fan comments directed at Angel Reese. It happened after this play when Clark slapped at the ball after Reese grabbed an offensive rebound.
The tension in the arena wasn't about the score anymore. It was about the spectacle of uncertainty every time Angel Reese had the ball in her hands. Fans in the stands and at home leaned forward, almost superstitiously, every time she drove to the rim. You could see it in slow motion, the pivot, the up fake, the ball released with hope. Then a collective exhale, sometimes frustration, sometimes disbelief as the shot rolled off the iron again. It was almost as if missing had become part of the routine, a bizarre ritual that everyone knew was coming, but no one wanted to admit. Soon enough, every missed attempt wasn't just another stat, it became a talking point for broadcasters and a punchline for internet trolls. Even the opposing bench could barely hide their reactions, covering smiles as they realized the pressure was shifting away from their own defense. For every new possession, the story was no longer about redemption, but about bracing for the next awkward outcome.
Caitlin Clark and
I'm a fan.
Angel Reese, right?
Yeah.
They're going back and
I'm a
forth.
fan of both.
And Jamil Hill says by the time Angel Reese is done, she's going to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
She
That's
said
what
about Angel Reese?
She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires, she will be the MJ.
The breaking point came on a play so routine it should have been automatic. Angel Reese caught the ball under the rim, the defense collapsed, but somehow the layup rolled off, untouched by fate or luck. The crowd's frustration boiled over instantly. Someone behind the bench yelled, loud enough for TV mics to catch it. Come on, that's the season right there. The missed shot felt like the end of hope. A symbol of everything that had gone wrong, compressed into 2 seconds of basketball heartbreak. In that moment, the Fever's blowout wasn't just about talent or tactics. It was about momentum crashing into a brick wall. Videos of the play hit Twitter within minutes, and suddenly, the missed layup was everywhere. Sports shows, memes, even friends texting clips to roast the Sky's misfortune. The team's composure faltered. Chicago's body language screamed defeat, and even Angel's biggest supporters went silent, unable to defend what everyone had just witnessed. The emotional unraveling was as real as any scoreboard.
Angel Reese is a fraud. Angel Reese is a sociopath. She's an idiot. She accused, while getting her ass beat by 35, she accused the Indianapolis Fever fans of racist, monkey noises, whatever. They're moving heaven and earth to investigate Indiana. My city, Indianapolis. About my town, the place where I live. I go to games. I go to dinner. I know people that were sitting in the area and they said, bull. Here's the statement. We have not substantiated it. Last year, she lied about getting off of a bus and they were blocked from getting into their hotel room. Video turned out, well, to show one guy asking one question. Angel Reese is a liar, and she is never, ever, under any circumstance, to be taken at her word.
Box scores can be brutal, but this one stung extra. When reporters broke down Angel Reese's night, just 2 buckets out of 7 tries, 4 points, and a plus-minus that would make any coach wince. It wasn't just about numbers, it was a window into how the night had truly gone. Every rebound, instead of being a highlight, became a reminder of missed opportunities, with most of them coming from cleaning up her own shots that never fell. The analytics crew shook their heads. She's padding the boards, but none of it's converting. One commentator remarked, almost in disbelief. On the post-game desk, the tone was somber. Was this a cold streak or something deeper? Fans online started tracking the stats as proof. Thread after thread, TikToks and hot takes, all circling the same idea. Maybe the pressure was just too much, or maybe something fundamental wasn't clicking. By the time the press conference rolled around, the story wasn't about the Fever's domination anymore. It was about whether Angel Reese could weather a storm she never saw coming.
And I will say this, his rant cursed Angel Reese because she proceeded to have the absolute worst game of her life.
Done.
Before the game even tipped off, Angel Reese found herself at the center of the wrong kind of spotlight. Instead of game talk, the pre-game chatter buzzed about her outfit, a puffy winter coat, layered scarf, and beanie. All this while Chicago roasted under a summer sun. The city was sweating, but Angel looked ready for a snowstorm. Fans on social media had a field day, memes started flying, TikTokers roasted her style, and even sideline reporters threw in a few lighthearted jabs. Commentators wondered aloud if she was trying to make a fashion fashion statement or just hiding from the heat of criticism. Whatever the reason, it was clear the focus wasn't on her warm-ups, but on her wardrobe. By the time she checked into the game, the jokes had already gone viral. The pressure was mounting, not just to play well, but to somehow shake off the embarrassment that had nothing to do with basketball.
Caitlin Clark is on a different level. We just have to own that. Angel Reese can rebound the basketball. She's a damn good player. She's got a bright future in the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark is next level. That's number 2. Number 3, Caitlin Clark's or Angel Reese's popularity in large part is attributed to her behavior towards Caitlin Clark. Because when Caitlin Clark was busy taunting opponents a couple of years back before LSU smacked Iowa around in the national championship game or so, it was Angel Reese that was clapping back at Caitlin Clark once it was Caitlin Clark's turn to have her comeuppance. And that's what made Angel Reese famous.
Then came a stat so wild it stopped conversations cold. Caitlin Clark, sidelined, still healing, was putting up more assists per night than Angel Reese was scoring points. That's right, Clark's average dimes outpaced Reese's scoring line, and people could barely believe it. Talk shows spent entire segments comparing the two, and fans posted side-by-side graphics that made the difference look even more extreme. Even the most loyal Reese supporters were left speechless by the numbers. It was one thing to have an off night, but this was becoming a season-long narrative. Every highlight package ended with a reminder. The gap between WNBA's most hyped rookie and its reigning assist queen was growing, not closing. It wasn't just about stats anymore. It was about what those numbers revealed. Expectations, disappointment, and a rivalry that was suddenly one-sided.
Keep it simple. This was a series in the first 3 minutes of the game. Angel Reese offensive rebound. It's 5-3, New York. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Jonquel Jones blocks Angel Reese's 1-foot layup. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Jonquel Jones blocks Angel Reese's 1-foot layup. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Angel Reese misses a layup. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Camila Cardoso misses a layup. Actually, it's the wrong direction. I'm reading it backwards. My bad. Camila Cardoso misses a layup. Angel Reese offensive rebound. Angel Reese misses a layup.
Online, the jokes turned savage. Angel Reese's rebound count was actually higher than her total points for the year, and social media seized on it with ruthless creativity. Brick emojis lined up under every tweet about her. Instagram pages built entire stories around her box scores, each post piling on. All those boards, but the rim's still her biggest rival, one fan quipped. Some trolls went so far as to run daily rebound watch updates, tracking whether she'd hit double-digit rebounds before she hit double-digit points. By the end of the night, the internet was less about celebrating the Fever's win and more about documenting every misstep Reese made. Every stat line felt heavier, every meme sharper. The narrative had flipped. Now it was less about what Angel could become and more about how far she had to go just to silence the laughter.
I actually feel bad for Angel Reese at this point, and it has nothing to do with like how she's handled herself or anything. It's just simply Caitlin Clark is so much better than Angel Reese at basketball that it doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, I think Angel Reese is struggling with the fact that Caitlin Clark is better at her best thing than she is.
She's better at everything.
And
she had a triple-double. She's tied for the third most triple-doubles in WNBA history, and she's played 50 games.
Yeah. Comment threads turned downright ruthless as the game ended. It wasn't just random trolls piling on. Longtime fans, former supporters, and even some neutral observers seemed to unite in roasting Angel Reese's night. The sarcasm was non-stop. "So this is the franchise star, huh?" asked one top comment, racking up thousands of likes. Another wrote, "Forget the points. At least she's dominating the meme game." The more people joked, the harder it became for any loyal followers to defend her. Some tried to blame the coaching, others pointed at team chemistry, but the flood of mockery just wouldn't let up. What once felt like a wave of support had turned into a full-on retreat, with even her biggest fans quietly backing away. The harsher the takes got, the more obvious it was that patience had run out. Suddenly, being an Angel Reese defender became a punchline in itself.
Oh, she balled at Iowa in college. She's balled since she's been in the NBA. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between the college game and the pro game and did her thing. Ended up as an all-star, ended up being 4th in the league in MVP voting, was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year. No competition whatsoever in that regard. when it was really all said and done. We know what she brings to the table.
In the sports world, it didn't take long for bigger comparisons to surface, ones that stung even more. Analysts started mentioning names like Colin Kaepernick, pointing out how a meteoric rise could just as quickly give way to a steep sudden fall. Sports radio hosts debated whether Reese's off-court presence, her brand deals, her TikToks, her viral personality was all that was left. Some even wondered out loud if the league was witnessing the start of a rapid decline, where highlights got replaced by headlines about missed shots and empty seats. "You can't trend on Instagram and disappear on game night," said one commentator. It was no longer just about having a tough stretch. It was about the risk of her entire basketball identity unraveling in real time.
Unfortunately, it comes with the crown.
I got to push back on you a little bit.
Okay.
I think you're being a little bit too PC. Let's call it what it is. I am not trying to say that she should be criticized or she is wrong. What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong with it. Now, yes, you are 22. Yes, you are young. And there's a lot of things that we didn't want people to know about when we were her age. Fair enough, especially me, okay? Because I'm 30 plus years removed from that age. I got that part. There was no social media then or whatever. But here's my point to you. She knows this social media. She is not dumb. She's quite a...
By the morning after the blowout, the conversation had shifted from frustration to full-blown speculation about what Angel Reese would do next. The rumors started swirling fast. Was a trade in the cards, or would she walk away and start over elsewhere? Some fans imagined her demanding a fresh start in a new city. Others predicted an early retirement from the league if the pressure got too heavy. Everywhere you looked, there was a sense of anxious waiting. Everyone wanted to see if she'd bounce back or call it quits. The uncertainty became its own storyline, with each new report or tweet only adding to the suspense. For now, all eyes stayed glued to Angel Reese, not just to see her play, but to find out if this low point was the end of a chapter or the beginning of something no one expected.
But holy Lord, when I tell you the numbers are the numbers. It's the worst she's ever played, probably since she was in elementary school. Probably the worst since elementary school.
I'm sorry, but I don't know who need to hear this, but Angel Reese got to be the worst basketball player ever. She's the worst basketball player ever. Like, do y'all guys don't understand this? She only made 2 points with 12 rebounds. She missed a couple of shots and she missed a rebound, bro. She only made 12 rebounds. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 12 rebounds.
And now the fans who were promised fireworks are getting nothing but disappointment. The hype machine sold everyone on an epic Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark showdown, but what actually played out was one-sided. While Clark, recovering or not, remains the name on everyone's lips, Reese has turned her minutes into a cautionary tale. Supporters shell out for front row seats, only to watch her hustle for rebounds that don't change the scoreboard. If Clark storms back onto the court and drops double digits while Reese keeps stacking up empty stats, the contrast will be impossible to ignore. At some point, the Sky's front office has to face facts. This experiment isn't panning out. Unless Angel Reese can flip the script fast, her story in Chicago may end not with a highlight, but with a quiet exit from the spotlight.